Start on your backs, have the feet the width of the mat and the knees, just let them knock in. I'm so excited. I've my husband's ear pods and it's so much better. I don't have to yell across the room to the speaker. So feet wide, knees together, palms can face open, or you can have one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. I really like starting like this because it's really neutralizing for the pelvis. Just connect to your breath. And allow yourself to feel this morning. Just feel your body, feel your breath, and feel what you need. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, sometimes just something in the middle. Okay, blink your eyes open so we don't go back to sleep. Take your feet to their hips width distance, okay? Cross your right ankle over the top of the left thigh and take your palms and have them flat to the floor. So this is more of like a integrated type of stretch. So what I want you to do is really feel your left foot pressed down, but really feel your right thigh. So you have to kind of press it without using your hands away from you. So you can give it as much or as little as you need. Exactly. And the more that your foot hangs off the edge of your left leg, the more external rotation you're going to get. So just feel your lower back spread and use your breath. So on the exhale breath, ground the left foot and externally just put your mind's eye, your attention towards that right thigh, that right flex of the foot, and just kind of draw it away. Good. Do that again. Inhale. Lengthen your spine, exhale, ground and externally rotate your right thigh away from you, even if it's not moving at all. It's just like firing up of the muscles. Keep your left leg where it is. Take your right peace finger with your right hand, grab onto your big toe, and you may or may not get the leg completely straight. The leg may be bent. That's fine. Left palm goes flat. So the right leg is up to the sky. And if for some reason this really isn't working, you can't grab your big toe, you just grab somewhere along the leg with your right hand, calf, hamstring. You just want to breathe. Keep your left palm flat. Keep your left knee pointed towards the sky and the left foot grounded to the floor. Hold here. So your right arm is strong and straight. Your right leg, you're breathing it straight up towards the sky at any angle. The leg can have a bend. And just maintain stability through your lower back. Hold here. Good. Keep the lift of your right leg. Your right arm's going to stay up. You're just going to let go of it. You're going to draw your right fingertips towards the toes without touching them. And then the left arm's going to reach up and you're going to just lift the shoulders, scoop out the belly. Don't change the shape of your body at all. Hold. If for some reason this doesn't feel good for your neck, by all means, take your hands behind your head and just give it some support. So it's isometric core work. And my right leg, you can see, is not pinned straight. That's okay. It's just straight up and down. It's early in the practice. Good. Take another giant breath. Lift a little higher. Exhale the breath. Let the leg go. Rebend the leg. Cross the left ankle across the right thigh. Take the palms flat to the ground. And it's more of just your mind's eye thinking about movement. So ground with your right foot. Feel your lower back spread and breathe your left leg away from you. So a lot of stuff in here is just about creating the attention and the mindfulness. So just spread your right toes, ground them to the mat, externally rotate your left thigh away. Breathe. Keep your right hand down, take your peace finger with your left hand, grab your big toe and extend the leg up towards the sky. So this side's a lot tighter for me. So you just need to take your hand to your calf, your hand to the back of the thigh. Make this not so aggressive. Let your left leg be at any level of straight or bent that you need, but it's straight up and down. The right foot is grounded, the right knee is pointed towards the sky, and you're just holding in space. I like keeping my right hand flat to the floor so I know I'm staying rooted. Keep the left leg lifted. Just release the fingers, reach them towards the sky, and then draw the right arm up. And then draw yourself up like a little curl up. And then maybe the left leg can go a little straighter. Maybe it's not happening today. Just breathe. The left leg in space, the lower back is down, scooping out of your belly. Lift straight up, look towards the ceiling. Lower the left foot down. Hug the knees, rock and roll, get some momentum this morning. Cross your ankles when you're ready, plant the hands, and step to a down dog. But in the down dog, bend your knees a little bit or a lot. So it may look like that, really bent knees to start. Perfect. The goal is to breathe your hips way up off your shoulders this morning. So the toes may need to stay really bent in order to do that. Anchor through your hands, the thumb, the index finger, the baby finger. Your outer triceps begin to hug in. Your head is nice and neutral. And you begin to quiet your thoughts, most importantly, and find a drishti point. Now, in time, as you hold the down dog, maybe your hamstrings get a little bit more give and you can start to straighten out your legs a little. Right, maybe you just find the sweet spot. Maybe you need to pump out your legs right and left. Just find some movement that feels good. And then find stillness when you're ready. Draw the pit of the belly in and up. Fix your eyes on one spot that's not moving, if possible. And just begin to feel. Roll forward to plank. Sometimes it takes a little finagling to find that sweet spot in plank. So if you need to walk it forward a little, do that. You can always drop your knees. I don't know how your body feels, but you do. So if you need to drop your knees for support, you do that. But in plank, either which way you're taking it, you want to breathe your chest through your body. Right, so you're creating a nice long spine. Neck is neutral always. Gaze is looking to the front. I look to the front edge of the mat. That's kind of a good drishti point. Plug down through the thumb, the index finger, the baby finger. Anchor the outer triceps, the hips, the ankles, and squeeze into your center line of energy, your midline. Breathe. Arms and legs stay straight, hips up and back dog. Find what works. Roll forward plank. Drop your knees to the ground, keep the toes curled, bend your elbows, supported push-up. Re-straighten your arms, supported plank. Lift the knees, plank position. Arms and legs stay straight, hips up and back dog. So we're gonna do that a few times on the breath. Do what you can. Roll forward plank. Drop your knees, they're a little behind you guys. Yes, if you're taking push-ups, lower a little bit or halfway at most. Not everyone takes push-ups. Re-straighten your arms to supported plank. Lift the knees, engage everything. Arms and legs straight, hips up and back dog. One more, come forward, plank position. Drop your knees behind you, lower a little bit, halfway at most. Re-straighten your arms, supported plank. Lift the knees, plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat, take 2 big steps to get there, or 20 if you feel really tight. Once you arrive, long spine, hands can rest on the front of the shins. If they don't quite make it to the ground, this is a great option. Exhale, fold into yourself. Do that again. Inhale, long spine, create space. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Maybe you get a head rush, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms, just stand for a second and just feel. Arms slide straight up towards the sky, look up, dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head fall. Come to the fingertips to prepare, touch something. 2 big steps to get you back to plank. In your plank, halfway to your push-up if you're taking that on. Then move through your baby cobra or up dog. I think this entire crew I have on Zoom takes cobra. Yes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Look to the top, step your feet there. Arrive lightly. Long spine, keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Let's keep going like this. Arms slide straight up, anchor. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare, step to plank. Lower halfway to your push-up. Cobra or up dog, press to your hands, the tops of the feet, either which way. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Yeah, that's a good, now I can see you. That's fantastic. Everyone's got good views. Look where you want to go. Step your feet to the top of the mat. Sometimes I see like a foot or a head, like my bun. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. You got to be in the mood. I get it. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Good. Here we go. Let's keep going. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. It's okay. You're halfway there. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head fall. Long spine to prepare. Step to plank. Just step plank. Halfway to your push-up if you're taking that on. Upward facing or baby cobra, depending on what's going on in your body. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Each one gets a little better. At least I always tell myself that. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Get there lightly. Long spine, keep that weight forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Go up nice and big. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. One more. Arms slide up and then we'll add on. Go big here. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare you. Step to plank. Halfway to your push-up. Up dog or cobra, press your hands in the tops of the feet. Nice work. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. So in your down dog, just breathe your right leg up and back to a three-legged down dog. And when you do this, you want to really work on keeping your pelvis neutral and hugging your left hip in. So you don't want to just fling your body apart. You want to flex your right foot super strong. Ground your hands, hug your outer hips in, and draw the belly towards the back of your spine. Maintain some stability here. And with your right leg lifted, come forward to a plank. So your right foot is now just hovering the floor. Take your right knee towards the outside of your right tricep. Yeah, just in that general direction, back of your arm, somewhere in that location on your body. Good. With a lot of control, your right leg's going to go up and back to a three-legged down dog. Press through your foot. Do it slow so you can really feel. You're going to come forward to plank. Your right foot's going to hover. Your right knee is just going to go across your body. So for a lot of us, it's just a little bit of movement, but you begin to feel it in your obliques. It's great. Keep your eyes fixed. Nice and slow, the right leg goes up and back, really controlled. Come forward, right foot hovers, and then hug your right knee in. Great job. Look forward, land your right foot forward and through. Come to your fingertips, activate your back leg. Know anytime we hit lunge like this, you can always drop your knee, okay? That's always an option. Sweep your arms straight up towards the sky. Nothing fancy here this morning. Good. Breathe. Hip points move forward. Back leg is super isolated and strong. Front leg bends into a 90-degree angle as your right hip hugs in. Breathe right here. If you want, you can grab opposite elbows over the top of your head if this feels good to you. If it doesn't, just bag it and maintain stillness the way that you are. Neck stays nice and neutral. Lower belly draws in. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving. And just settle in here for a few more breaths. Sometimes it's nice to just be still and breathe. From your elbows to your fingertips, straighten your arms if you took that funky arm variation. Look forward, take both hands to the floor. This is a great opportunity to also use blocks. You're going to pop up into a standing split. So if back is sensitive, definitely use blocks to frame out the foot and then lift the leg up. Fold your torso down, soften your shoulders. Don't open your hip. Keep everything very neutral. Yeah, just drape yourself in half, as much or as little as you can. Take on. If you need blocks, you stay up a little more. So in the standing split, just turn your left foot out a little and then take a giant step back, set up for warrior one, anchor through your feet, grip your right hip in strong and rise. If lower back is sensitive this morning, I recommend a little pitch forward with your torso so you're not so straight up and down going into the low back. The idea is to have your chest, your shoulders forward towards the front edge of the mat. So steer your left ribs forward, anchor through your feet, and breathe. Hands to frame your front foot. Move through a vinyasa or go to a dog and meet me there. Up dog is smooth or cobra. Nice and slow this morning, hips up and back, down dog. On the inhale breath, lift your left leg up, just hip height and hold. So sometimes you just fly into these poses. We don't feel what our body actually deserves. Hug your right hip in, press down, flex your left toes strong. Just be patient in the movement, especially early in the practice. Come forward to a three-legged plank. Your foot just hovers the ground. Do your best with this. Take your left knee towards your left tricep in the general direction. It may just be a little bit of movement. Nice and slow, extend your left leg up and back to a three-legged down dog. Be patient. Come forward, three-legged plank first, and then knee goes across the body just a little bit. Extend the left leg up and back, three-legged down dog, press fiercely. Come forward, three-legged plank, hug the left knee in. Land your left foot forward and through, grip your hips under you, activate your back leg, and rise when you feel ready and stable to a crescent lunge. Come up nice and slow. So you don't want to feel wobbly, you want to feel supported with the pose. Get your composure. And then if you want to grab opposite elbows over the top of the head, if you could remember which side you took, good luck. Just do the opposite. Neck stays nice and neutral. It's like you're framing your face in a picture frame. Squeeze the muscles around the back right quadricep and glute to give you a little more support. And just hone in on your breath here. Just breathe. Inhale through your nose, through the back of the throat. Follow it up with a nice, strong, solid exhale. From your elbows to your fingertips, extend your arms to the sky. Good. Hands to frame your front foot. I like to claw the mat or use the blocks and then let the right leg lift up, only hip height and fold. So as you fold here, soften your shoulders in the standing split. Everyone's is going to look slightly different, so don't get hung up. Let's see if you can draw your belly close to the front of the thigh. Staying in this position, just turning your right toes out a little on an angle, and then giant step back, transitioning to warrior one, secure the feet and rise on your exhale breath. Come up nice and slow. Steer the entire front side of the body forward, right ribs forward. Grip your left hip in strong. And feel. Hands to frame your front foot, vinyasa, or you bag it and you just go to a down dog and you be still. Up dog if you're taking a smooth, or cobra, great job. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Enjoy the practice, enjoy the process. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top of the mat. Get there lightly. Long spine, keep your weight forward always. Exhale, fold into yourself. Sit into your first chair. So I've been taking chair with my feet apart for a while. When I say apart, I mean just a little, like 2 fist distance apart. And then sometimes they just naturally drift back together. Stick your butt way back in chair because you want to create a natural curve in your lower spine. And do what feels good in your arms. Open nice and wide, cactus for some of us, or straight up like you're holding a block in between your hands if you've got healthy shoulders. Shoot up to stand up. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. So from the top, here we go, 3 sun Bs together. Arms slide straight up towards the sky, look up a little, sit deep into chair. It's always easier from the top. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head just go. There you go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step or float through your version of the vinyasa. So maybe it's just adding push-ups, maybe it's just to a dog, maybe it's skipping the back bend. Find what works. When you arrive in your down dog, land your right foot forward, warrior one, or crescent lunge if you're nursing an injury. Bring it back down when you're ready on your own breath through vinyasa. Find something that feels good, feels effective, and keeps you moving. Then when you're ready on your breath, the left foot lands, the back foot turns, crescent lunge, or a variation of it. Nice work. Hands come back down on your breath, on your count through a vinyasa. We meet in a downward facing dog. They're precise, they're clean, they're effective, and most importantly, they're very controlled. Look to the top, step or float to the top of the mat. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold into yourself. Sit deep into a chair. Weights in your heels always. Shoot up to stand up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go. Once again, arms slide straight up, go big. And then sit deep into your chair. It's always easier from the top. Stick your butt way back. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step or float through your version of a vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. The right foot lands, the back foot turns. Find something that works. Rise on the exhale breath. Hands come back down through a vinyasa or right to down dog. Keep moving, keep breathing. The left foot lands, the back foot turns. Warrior one. It should start to feel a little bit more seamless, effortless, less thought. Hands come down, vinyasa. Move through your up dog, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold, sit deep into chair. Yeah. Shoot up to stand up, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. One more for good luck. Arms slide straight up, sit deep chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine to prepare you, step or float through your vinyasa. Up dog pulls you through, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Back down we go, vinyasa or not. On your own breath, the left foot lands, the back foot turns, warrior one, come on up, these look good. Back down we go, vinyasa. Good. Meet me in a dog. And then step your right foot forward again, turn your back foot strong, warrior one, come up, we're just gonna hold and add in a little. So as you arrive in warrior one, just really pay attention to your right outer hip, hug it underneath you, and the left blade of your foot is pressing firm. Reach your arms forward like you're handing a tray, wrap your left arm underneath your right. So if this is limited for you, you can just grab opposite shoulders. You can bring your hands to prayer. There's so many different ways that we're taking a little arm shoulder opener. Good, you're gonna get heavy on your front thigh and then you're gonna come into humble warrior like this. So when you drop into humble warrior with eagle arms, think less, think like doing a little less. Like I'm not dropping all the way down today. I mean, this does feel good, but I feel like if I stop here and I really focus on steering my right hip underneath me and the left side of my body forward and keeping a little bit of a longer spine, I'm actually working harder and a little bit more effectively in my body. But find what works. Like if you don't feel anything here, then you have to go in a little deeper. Breathe. Play with it a little. Connect to your breath and the feeling of maintaining and holding the pose wherever you are. Good, keep the shape of the lower half of the body, pull your torso up. Unravel your arms to the sky and see if you can gather your hands in a prayer and kind of offshoot it, kind of like, it's like coming like a off the front of the forehead as you look up. Gather the sides of the triceps in, draw the waist together. Hands to frame your front foot through a vinyasa or to a dog. If that feels best, just go to down dog. One more time, let's step our left foot forward, turn the back foot strong, come on up, warrior one. Good, arms come forward, wrap your left arm or your right. I can't remember what I did. I think I did my left arm. So wrap your right arm forward underneath your left. Inhale the breath, lift the chest, right ribs wrap forward. Exhale, come down. So once again, it's a lot easier for me to just drop down into it. Not much effort needs to happen. It's a little bit more controlled to kind of stop halfway, gather the left hip underneath me and steer the right side of the body forward. and use the muscles of the core and the obliques to support right here. So play with it a little. We're holding for a bunch of breaths so we can feel what we're doing. That looks good, Meredith. Pay attention to little things, like are you clenching your toes or your face? Anchor through your legs, pull your torso up. Good work. Unravel your arms. See if you can gather them into a prayer or do your best. Bring it to the floor through vinyasa. Upward facing is smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing. On the inhale breath, lift your right leg straight up. Flex the foot. Look forward. Hug the knee straight in. Scoop out your belly. Land your right foot all the way forward and through. You're in a low lunge, okay? Reach for a block. Place it at the height that works for you. Take your left hand to your hip and move yourself into half moon. So transition nice and slow and effectively. If you need the wall, you go towards a wall. If you're on a balcony, don't go towards the balcony edge. Grip the right hip underneath you. Yeah. It looks good, Meredith. Bring the block like 2 inches closer so you're not reaching, and I think you'll be in good shape. Perfect. Side ribs nice and long. I like to pay attention to the top foot, the left foot in this case. Spark up those toes. And maybe your left arm extends to the sky, but maybe it needs to stay on your hip or alongside your body because that just feels better. Pay attention to your right hand. Make sure all the weight's not dumping into the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist. Find stability, find space, find breath. We're holding a little longer. Two more breaths. So hug the right hip in, look down. You're going to transition to warrior two. So mindfully think warrior two and take your time stepping back into it. There's no rush. I'm going to wait for you all to get there. And then you may need to adjust your stance, right? You might have said, like, that did not work out for me. That's okay. So nice big step across your mat. Right knee tracks over right ankle. You're going to spread your arms and your collarbone nice and wide. And I always check my feet. Even after doing this for 20 plus years, I want to make sure my right foot and my left foot on the same plane of energy. Pick a spot or close your eyes, just holding here for a few. Lengthen your tailbone, wrap your right knee open. Breathe energy into your body from fingertip to fingertip. Lengthen the tailbone. Good work. You're going to flip the palm, reverse the warrior, soft movement. Just think subtle, side body opening. And as you come back to warrior two, you're going to reach out and place your hand to the outside of your foot. I've been using a block on its highest setting actually, but low, medium, or high, whatever works for you, or arm on the top of your thigh is a great scenario. Left arm can wrap straight up or it can come up and forward. So you're bending deep into your front right thigh. The block is somewhere on the outside of your right foot or resting on your right thigh. Good. You're turning your bottom ribs. And you're breathing into this deep hip opener. Yeah. Softening the right shoulder away from your ear. And if the left arm is wrapped up and forward, that's great. Think of the left arm as like a bow and arrow. So it's super engaged. Stay a little longer, guys. Maybe look up a little. Stay with it. Left arm slides straight up, anchor through your top arm, your top leg without any bounce, warrior two. Warrior two. Look to the floor, circle it down, vinyasa. Take your up dog. If it's smooth, enjoy it. If not, bag it. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. On the inhale breath, slide your left leg up to a three-legged down dog. Flex the left toe strong. Come forward and hug your left knee towards your navel. Squeeze in. Land your left foot forward, low lunge, pause. Reach for your block, set it up so it's a smooth transition. Right hand might come to right hip, and pop yourself up nice and slow. You got to play with where the block needs to be because you don't want to feel like you're reaching and you don't want it too close under you. So that sweet spot, like 8, 10, 12 inches off the edge of the baby toe. Stack yourself up nicely here. Flex your right toes and grow the pose. Side ribs long. Play with your dristi, play with your breath. Just stay connected. If you fall, you come back. Try it again. Hug your left hip underneath you. Maybe get a little lighter in your bottom hand, last two. So think very mindful transition to warrior two. Take as much time as you need to step back, warrior two. Right. I'm just gonna pivot so I can see you. You stay right where you are and just settle into your breath. You got it. Breathe across fingertip to fingertip, open up your heart and your chest, lengthen your tailbone, close your eyes and just maintain this, your composure, your breath, find space, be here. Drop down a little deeper if you can. Flip the palm reverse. Should feel good. Don't dump into your lower back. Keep bending into that front thigh. Come back to warrior two. Let's rest the hand to the outside of the foot or arm to the top of the thigh. Find what works. You want to make a connection with the outside of the leg and the inside of the arm though. Top arm straight up if this is the best for you, or up and forward if you're looking for a little bit more. Strong anchor of your right blade of your right foot all the way through those fingertips. Turning your bottom ribs and gripping your left hip under you. Stay with it. Strong back leg, keep pressing firm. Let the top arm drift up and use the strength of that top arm to pull you back without any bounce, warrior two. Straighten your front leg on track, bring your hands to your hips. Pivot the toes in, okay? So from your right hip, just turn your right toes out and your back toes on an angle. So you're just gonna turn now, so now you're facing the back edge of the mat. Arms are gonna open nice and wide, and from here, you'll find triangle. Right hand somewhere on the front of your right shin. If you need to relocate the block to use it, remind yourself that it's gonna go to the outside of your calf. Right. Top arm's gonna wrap straight up towards the ceiling, or today your hand can go behind your head like you're resting on a pool raft. Your elbow will point towards the sky. Make a mindful connection with your hand to the back of your head and your palm and your head to the back. That connection goes vice versa. Turn your bottom ribs, look up. Back leg is strong, front leg can have a little bend to it, yeah. If you took your top hand behind your head, just re-extend it. Find that space, top arm, top leg's gonna pull you up. Straight arms and straight legs to center. Bring your hands to your hips. Let your right toes turn in, and then from your left hip, just pivot your toes out. So now you're gonna face the front edge of your mat. Once your feet feel like they're in a good position, open up your chest and pivot. And if you need to relocate your block, do that. Just move it with you. Hand somewhere on your shin or the block to the outside of the calf, and grow the pose with a lot of space. I like getting in this way because you can really pick the distance that works for your spine. Sometimes when we step back into things or we step into things, we don't step accordingly, right? So you make this feel right. If you want to take your head behind your hand behind your head, this is a nice way to just open up the chest a little more. Look towards the sky. Find the space that you need so you're not dumping into low back. Back leg is strong. Front leg can have a little bend to it. Breathe right here. 2 more. Your hand went behind your head, just extend the arm to the sky. So to get out today, you're not gonna pull up, you're gonna look to the floor, circle both hands down to frame your front foot, pivot your right heel off the ground. So you're in a low lunge, and then just step to plank. Once you arrive in plank, we're gonna lean on our right hand for Vashisthasana side plank. Right knee can drop. I'll show you the modification. This is a great modification. You can also float the left leg up, or you can stack the 2 feet on top of one another, such as this, or you can stagger. For some reason, something's going on in your shoulder, your neck, your wrist, your elbow, you can always drop to your forearm. This looks great. Lift from your bottom hip through your top hip. It's a fierce pose. It's a great posture. Breathe. Plank position. Just go to dog for a sec. Just go to dog for a sec. Breathe for a second. So try it this way. Bring your feet together in down dog. Look forward. Scooch the hand out just like an inch in front of the shoulder, and then go to Vashisthasana on the other side. And then see if that gives you the space. And then you want to stagger your feet or stack the feet. Drop the bottom knee. Anything goes here. When I was noticing yesterday when I was teaching in person, we want to really be mindful of the hips in this pose, because we don't want the hips to open. We want the hips squared. It looks great. It's perfect. It's like lots of little things you can pay attention to. Makes the pose a little bit more interesting. Plank position. You got it. In plank, drop to your forearms. I know, it kind of sucks, but do it anyways. Yeah, your arms need to walk in a little. Lengthen your tailbone. If you want to bring your hands to prayer or interlace them, sometimes that gives you a little bit more. So you're in one solid plane of energy and forearm plank. Yes. And then I'm going to encourage you to rock your weight a little bit more forward. So it's going to be a very kind of mindful, slow movement. So you're going to bring your weight forward, and then you're going to shift your weight a little back. Good. You're going to bring your weight forward. Good. And then you're going to shift your weight back. Do it again. Nice and slow. Forward and back. One more time. Forward and back. Find neutral pause. Good. Split your hands apart. One hand at a time with as little movement as you can. Plank position. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Look to the top. Step or float your feet there this morning. Long spine. Weight is forward. Exhale. Fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Cross your right ankle over the top of the left thigh. I'll turn towards you. You can stay exactly as you are, unless you feel like you need to face the camera. Right. Sit deep in chair. So we're taking ankle to knee. Right. So your arms can go up, and then you just want to sit nice deeply down. Perfect. And then you can come forward. I know, Tracy, you like doing this too. Back of the triceps, hands in prayer, and you kind of encourage the foot to flex around the outside of that left tricep, and you get in there. This is a great place to use blocks. So you could really breathe into your hips. Stay with it. You want to keep leading with your chest. Your gaze goes forward. Perfect. You just saw what happened, but the ear pods fell down my shirt. Okay, so to get out of this, guys, this is what's going to happen. So you're going to come up just a little bit. Take your left hand to your left hip, okay? Right hand to your big toe. If you know this is not going to work, you don't extend the leg, your hand can just drift to the knee, but you're going to press up to stand and hug the knee towards the navel. It looks like this. So you may get here and you say, okay, my hand just needs to go to the front of my knee. This is fine, but I'm just giving you options. Extend the right leg forward and through if you can do that, or hand just stays on your knee, or grabbing the big toe is fine. Left arm extends up. Good. So any amount that your left leg is grounded, but your right leg is moving forward, any amount, it could be halfway bent. Good. Keep the leg moving forward and switch the grip with the leg forward or with the leg bent. Look back into that right hand. Good. Breathe your heart, your collarbone, your chest, everything open. Good. Stand up nice and tall. Give it a little bit more juice. Good. Pull around to center. I'm going to rebend my leg and bring my arms up. So it just looks like this. Perfect. Lower the right foot down, but keep the arms up. You know this is coming. Sit into chair. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath. Hook the elbow, twist to the right. Get in there. Yes. You can air twist. Watch the two knees stay side by side. Awesome. Perfect alignment. It's not about how far you're going, it's how you're doing it. Sit a little deeper. Twist a little bit more if you're doing that. Pull around to chair. Stay grounded and heavy in your legs. Look forward with your eyes. Shoot up to stand up with excitement. Hands to prayer. Drop your arms. All right, we're going to do the other side. Here we go. So you're going to stand on your left leg and you're going to cross your right ankle over the edge of the knee. So do it slow. So make the figure 4. Yep. And then sit like you're sitting in chair. Flex the foot strong, and then maybe come all the way forward. I took off my sweatshirt, so if the ear pods fall out again, they don't get lost in the sweatshirt. Hands in prayer, and just find what works here. But you want to really bend that right leg so you can flex that foot strong and get into that hip. Keep leading with your chest. You don't want to collapse your heart. Okay, find your hands off the floor, right hand to hip, left hand's gonna hook the big toe, or maybe your hand's gonna drift somewhere closer towards the knee. You're gonna press to stand, hugging your left knee, and you're gonna do it slow. Then if you're ready, the left leg will extend out any amount, the right arm will shift up. This can all be done with a bent leg. Don't get ahead of yourself. Draw the left shoulder back into the socket. Stand up very tall. The expression from the right leg through the right fingertips is creating the pose. Keep the leg moving forward and add the twist. Add the twist the best that you can. Leg can stay straight, half bent, or fully bent. Reach back into that left hand. Look back a little. Stand up tall. This is called Dancing Shiva. It's a pretty sounding pose. Keep the leg moving forward. Pull around to center. The leg's going to stay up. I'm going to bend it, and my arms are going to go up. With the arms staying up, lower the left foot down, sit deep into chair. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale that breath, hook the elbow and twist to the left. You can see I'm taking chair twist with my knees a little separated this morning. Feet a little separated, feels a little better in the lower back. Spine is nice and long. You can air twist if your lower back is sensitive, such as I'm demonstrating. Weight stays in your heels. Breath is free flowing and you're really experiencing the pose here. Heavy in your legs, chair pose. Shoot up to stand up, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. With your right leg forward, slide your left foot back about 3.5 feet. Your hands are going to come to your hips. Right hand on hip, left arm extends up. Inhale that breath. Exhale, come halfway down. Steer your right hip back. I reach for a block always. Place it to the instep of the foot and set up for a fabulous twisting triangle. Steer your hips back. My right hand stays in the flat part of my back until I know I'm secure and ready. And then I move on if and when that is happening for today. I love this posture, but this posture, you need to be warmed up. We've done all the things that we need to do to make this pose feel good. Right. That looks great. So you're mindfully moving through your practice this morning, which is making you have an experience rather than just doing yoga. You're actually physically experiencing a practice. Soften behind your right knee, guys, just a little bit. Yeah. Good. You're going to look to the floor, place both hands down. Simple, simple transition. Nothing fancy happening in here today. Slide your left leg back. So now you're in a lunge. Just step it back. Just enhance the pose. Maybe you need to drop your knee. I don't know how you feel. Sweep up, crescent. Once you arrive to crescent, this is all coming together. Hands come to prayer. Inhale the breath, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. Crown of the head lines up with your back left heel, back leg super engaged and strong, and right hip hugs in. Maybe you feel great in your upper body and you want to open up your arms today. Maybe you can take a half bind or a full bind. Maybe none of those things are in the cards and you just stay where you are. Yeah, I'm like, I'm good. Remind yourself that you want a very straight spine here because your spine is straight. Hopefully it is. Yes. Point the elbow to the sky and twist open. Take one more full breath in. Hands to frame your front foot. Come to your fingertips and just spring forward to the top of the mat. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold into yourself. Good work. Let the head go. Root to rise, come all the way up. Sweep your arms out and up. And then drag your hands to prayer and drop your arms. Keep your left foot where it is and just step your right foot back, the appropriate distance for you. Hands come to your hips, so the whole torso faces forward. Left hand on your hip, right arm drifts up. Inhale the breath, find space, come halfway, steer the left hip back, and then set up for a fabulous twisting triangle. Hand slides to the flat part of the back. Make sure that your shoulder is elevated enough that it's not turning in. Your chest and heart is open. You're anchoring through your legs, and then you grow the pose how it works best for you. Feel like someone's got you by your hips and they're pulling you towards that back wall. So you arrive in the posture and then you settle in and you breathe and you let the magic happen right here. Hug your hips under you, twist open a little more. Look to the floor, place both hands down. Move the block to the side and just elongate your stance. Just step your right foot further back, get your feet, your legs all set up. Come up one more time here, crescent. Once you arrive in your crescent, ground your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, lean out, hook the elbow, and twist. Drop your back knee if you need a little TLC today. Activate the muscles around that back right quadricep. Get the crown of the head to like line up with that back foot. You want to lean back a little bit into the pose. Twist open a little more, point your left elbow towards the sky. If you unraveled your arms, maybe you want to take the half bind, full bind. 2 more. Look to the floor, place both hands down, pause. So you're going to straighten your left leg on track and you're just going to stay low to the ground and you're going to pivot. So you're going to pivot down the center, inhale the spine, long spine, exhale, you're going to fold into yourself for a wide straddle here. Yeah. So when you come down in wide straddle, always bend behind your knees because it's a forward fold. You can place blocks underneath your hands. Yeah. You can hang, I like to hang a little bit more like a rag doll or make the arms, set them up like a chaturanga-like arms, because you could eventually go up into a tripod headstand here. But ultimately this pose is an inversion because your head is below your heart. Yeah, if your head touches the ground, that's just an indication that the stance needs to come in a little closer. Yeah, keep shifting your weight forward. You got it, breathe. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Find a lot of extension. Look to your front foot at the front edge of your mat and pivot around in a low lunge. So you're just going to come out, kind of stay close to the floor. So your left foot is forward, you're in a low lunge, and just step through a vinyasa from here. That's it. Just move through a vinyasa or go to a dog and breathe and hold. We're finishing up. Last little bit of work here. Slide your right knee forward for a half pigeon. Yeah, we did a bunch of hip opening already, so this may feel completely different, better, hopefully. Let yourself fold in half pigeon. Keeping your right leg where it is, just pull your torso up. Let's do things a little different today. Swing your left leg around so it looks like you're going into tree, right? You're facing, you're seated. Right hand's gonna go behind you. We're going into sail pose. So it looks like this. You're gonna lift up. The left arm stretches up and back. It's a back bend. Your right knee is down. Ideally, you wanna get the left foot, the base of the foot flat to the ground, but that just depends on you. Look up towards the sky, lift a little higher. Good. Exhale the breath, start to come down. As you come down, swing your right knee forward towards the center edge of the mat and wrap your left foot around for seated spine twist. The bottom leg can always be straight. Give your top leg, that's your left leg, a squeeze with your right arm or hook the elbow. Left hand goes at the base of the spine. Inhale the breath, lengthen up. Exhale, look over the shoulder and twist. Make sure you're not sitting on your right foot. Both butt cheeks are down. You got it. Come back through center. Unravel the feet. Take the feet flat to the ground. Hook onto the sides of your feet or your big toes. You're going to come up into a version of boat navasana with your feet, grabbing the sides of your feet, your big toes, or the backs of your legs. Lift the torso, lift the chest, draw the belly in. Keep the lift of the legs. You may need to bend your knees. Regular boat navasana, arms reach forward. Good. Use your core muscles, not your lower back. You could bend your knees as much as you need, like I'm showing. Cross your ankles, plant the hands, move through a vinyasa, or go to dog. This is it, guys. Land your left knee forward, half pigeon. I love this type of back bending and closure of the practice. It feels really good. Just like kind of let your mind wander off and really trying to enjoy the last few minutes. Let yourself just fold. Just you and your breath on your mat. Breathe. Good. Use the strength of your body. Start to come up. You're going to lean on your left side. Swing your right leg around so it looks like tree, but we're not going for that. Left hand behind you. So you lift as much as you can. Everyone's bodies are different. So if it's just a little lift, it's a little lift. If you're able to get all the way up for that full expression, remember that your left hand is facing towards the back edge of the mat. The right arm is wrapping up and back in that same direction. And the right toes are pointed towards the ground. Come down with control, nice and slow. As you lower down, just steer your left knee forward so it's straight forward and wrap your right foot around. So the foot comes to the outside of that foot. Right hand goes to the base of your spine. I always start by hugging the leg in because I find I'm going to get that piriformis nice and open. Maybe you can hook the elbow looking sideways or looking back for a seated spine twist here. Make sure you're not sitting on that left foot. Good, come around to center. Unravel your legs, and one more time, either grab the sides of your feet, the backs of your thighs, or your big toes. Find one that works. I like sides of feet. I can get nice extension here. Breathe here. You can bend your knees as much as you need, but think spine long, core engaged, heart open, shoulders back, down and back. If you're ready and able to let go, reach your arms forward. Good, and start to lower to an Ardha Navasana. So Ardha Navasana can have your legs straight up towards the sky if that's best for lower back. Everything hovering the floor is going to be the most intense. So wherever you are, you're holding here for 5, breathing for 4, for 3, for 2, and then just dropping to the floor. When you hit the floor, hug your right knee in towards your navel. Give it a good little squeeze. Good. And just grab your big toe one last time and extend the right leg up and back. And just feel here for a few breaths how much better it feels. Left palm down. If you can't grab the big toe, just grab anywhere behind the leg. Let the right shoulder draw down the back like it would in a standing leg raise. And then just let your right leg float to the floor. It should feel really long. Hug the left knee in one last time today. Give it a good little squeeze. And then grab behind the big toe, behind the thigh, behind the calf, right palm flat. Breathe your left shoulder blade to the mat. Flex your right calf strong, your right toe strong. Good, let the left leg float to the floor. Just let it go. Set up for Shavasana, complete rest here. All the work is done. So the best part of the practice is right now. The master pose. If being in Shavasana with your legs flat out doesn't feel good, you can go knock the knees in like we started. Breathe yourself back, a full deep breath in. A full loud exhale, breath out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, stretch your arms up over the top of the head. Move with the last little bit of control, hug your knees in towards your chest. And rock up in your own way to a seated position. When you come up seated, just sit with yourself for a second. Bottle up this feeling. It's a great feeling. Yes. Hands to prayer, bow your head for a second. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. Awesome practice, my friends. See you again next time. Enjoy.